G'day, welcome back. It's been a minute. I don't actually remember the last time I made a video. It's probably well over 9 months ago. I need to do more of this. I enjoy it, I like it, it's fun. Don't always get the time to work on this thing, but I've been plugging away at it, not filming it. So I'll catch you back up on the past 9 months of, 30-minute stints over that sort of time span on what I've been doing. Don't mind how dirty the garage is right now. Now the Sylvia, I got it running. I'll put in a clip here. Shout out to Matt, who came over and helped me get it started. Basically did all this, got all the fuel pumps done, turned it on, and it ran really well. And then me being me, for whatever reason, thought, you know what, we'll pull it back apart. And I did that, and I put in a trigger kit. So, got rid of the factory CAS, basically crank trigger, actually set it up. I had this on for ages, but silly me didn't realise I needed a homing signal kit that runs off the cam, which, if I wasn't just so impatient, I would have seen, but that's okay. So we did that. If I can get the light on this thing to work. It's gonna come lighter. There we go. Yeah, if I had just read the Tarks or EFI website, I would have found out that you need a home signal kit, and it's essentially just a little finger that sits on the front of the cam wheel, and you pretty much put it on one of the dowels, and then in the ECU you set the reference for timing. So instead of running off factory CAS, it uses that finger to reference the cams against the pickup on the crank, which from all accounts I've heard is more accurate than the 90s CAS. So it wasn't too expensive. Well, I lie, it was $400 or something, for $450 for both of them. So we put that on. I actually got a bloke by the name of Lucas, shout out Lucas, I don't know if he's going to watch this, who came out and did some auto sparky work for me. Did all this in the interim if I couldn't get my trigger kit to work, so I'll show you on the car. Came out and he just finalised up some of the wiring for this, made it look absolutely incredible. And teed it all into the factory plug on this end. So, well, not factory plug, but swapped it all out. So yeah, we're back to reassembling it. Also was, when we got it running, the clutch was half engaging, so that was another issue. I went to put it in gear, getting all excited to drive it around. Didn't have AFRs, didn't have anything. It was running, timing was good, fueling looked good, it sounded healthy. We were just going to putt it around the estate, but I've got AFRs now. I've got the new crank trigger, so I'll redial all that in, but when we went to drive it, I went to put it into gear and my clutch was half engaging, so spent a bit of time speaking to Direct Clutch Services. Shout out to them, who basically, I have one of their I bought a second-hand clutch off somebody, 6-puck single unsprung disc, and then second-hand, and sort of, me trying to find a cheap deal a couple of years ago, and I had that in the car and it wasn't engaging, and the previous clutch I had in it was just an Exceedy heavy duty and it worked. So yeah, sort of spoke with them about what that possibly could be. We basically did some measurements on the disc thickness, and we sort of worked out that the disc thickness I had, I'd pretty much lose half pressure on the clutch fork, on the clutch pressure plate. So, which sort of tells me that and him that I was going to get half pressure, half engagement, why it wasn't working. So managed to find a cheap deal on a clutch at Christmas time. It cost me $350 or something from, I think it's Extreme or Exceeding. No, it was Extreme, and it was a 6-puck sprung, 6-puck sprung disc. So hopefully the sprung center makes it a little nicer for street use compared to what I had in there was the unsprung. And it's got 6 pucks instead of 5. So see if that works. Got the gearbox out. Matt come around again. Shout out Matt again. On the garage floor. Gearbox out. Change the clutch. Gearbox back in. And that's where I'm at the moment. So we're just piecing it all back together. Unfortunately. Again, don't mind how messy the garage is. You can probably see all those metal shavings there. It's because my cross member, all 4 bolts stripped out. And I helicoiled 2 of them, got them back in, and the back 2, so pretty much the one behind that one, and same on this side, I can't really see it. Helicoiled all 4 of them. I just need to line up the other 2. One of the helicoils on the driver's side I actually pulled out, so it's got 2 in there. It's holding it in there for the time being. It'll be enough to get me to get it running and get it over to a mate's lift or someone's lift to get it up and do it not on the ground and lying in metal shavings. So tail shaft's in, all those are bolted, all, you know, joints. The uni joint in the middle's all bolted in. It's all bolted up to the diff. It's all bolted up to the bell housing, to the back of the engine, and I just put the dump pipe in. So pretty much just have to bolt in the starter, finish bolting in the exhaust to the downpipe, put the wastegate back in, plumb all the lines back up to boost controller, see if I can't time it. That's really about it. I was at the reason I'm out doing this, it's the day after the Formula 1 final. Shout out Oscar Piastri, even though you didn't win. At a mate's for a barbecue, and they all had cool cars. Sylvias, Skylines, just cars making them work, so it's giving me a kick in the guts to get my thing finished. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just gonna plot along today and yeah, slowly piece this thing back together, and I'll film what I can, because yeah, like I said, I like making these videos. It's fun for me. I like tinkering on cars, but I like driving them more, so let's get it all back together. Alright, so I've got all of the hot side in, downpipe, wastegate, heat management. It's all buttoned up underneath the car as well. Managed to angle the wastegate into a position in between the downpipe and the frame rail, and it just shoots to the ground, so I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, all the heat management on the wastegate lines. Let's push them over a bit, because that's where the heat's coming from. So they're all heat managed. I took the heat wrap off this because it was looking pretty ratty. And I've done everything else, like the firewall, all the lines, the turbo blanket. I kind of want to see it get some colour, and then if it's getting too hot, I'll drop it off and wrap it again. But same as the wastegate. Strap bars back in. All the O2 sensors are all back together. So, but yeah, get the starter motor bolted back in. Some stuff plugged in on the underside, and the gearbox, some sensors. That's pretty much it. I was halfway through getting the steering bushing out, but I might just leave that, put the bolts back in, put it on the ground, and at least I can drive it, and then I'll do it on a lift. It's a pain in the ass on the ground, so I'll do that, and then I need to put gearbox oil in it before I forget. Put the shifter back in, because I'm just going to do that all through the top. Yeah, put the oil through the top there, and then bolt it all back together, plug the laptop back into it, and then reset the timing for the new crank trigger. See you in a bit.
One eternity later.
Well, see you in a sec. It's actually 3 weeks later. Christmas has come and gone. New Year's has come and gone. It's January the 8th. Quick little sec. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to all. I'm actually sitting in a car that I need to move out of the garage to work on Sylvia. It's got a pretty little logo. I'll just get the key. Pretty cool looking key. Foot on the brake. Damn, that sounds good. Not bad. I'm still learning how to use this thing. Turn down the volume. Put it into drive. Turn the handbrake off. Or is it towards me? There we go. And nice. It's not mine, it's my father-in-law's. Now, a fair bit has happened since a quick sec, 3 weeks. Obviously, have another car in the garage, and more importantly, I got this thing on the ground. Got all the hot side on, got gearbox back in, clutch in, fluids, but I ran into a bit of an issue with the clutch. I'm pretty sure it's a slave. The slave cylinder is leaking. I'm pretty sure it is. I couldn't find out what it is. It was half bleeding. We got rid of all the air bubbles, tried the bleed dipple on the master and on the slave. There was no air bubbles on the fluid and it just was not getting full pressure. So I ordered a box from GK Tech, new master, new slave, new line, full damper delete, just start fresh. And I need to put the car back in the air. I'll probably do that tomorrow to do it, and I'll do that in the next video. But I noticed when I took the actual dust boot off the slave, that's a Nismo slave, it's a really nice slave cylinder, fluid was in there, so that's probably why. Anyways, I'll show you the car. It looks really, really good sitting on the ground, and I'm extremely excited to be able to drive it. Got my seat mounted. Sit nice and low. I'm not a tall person, I'm only like 5'8", but still want to sit as low as possible. So I don't really want to show you the holes on the side of it, still do a few small adjustments. As you can see, when I was mocking these up, there was a gap there, and when I bolted them in, can't really see it, they're just touching. And yeah, it's a bit of an absolute mess. Redrill all the holes. I didn't like the way I sat, notched the bracket on the bottom, because without it, the top of the seat sat probably about there, and then my head was almost touching the roof, and I'm only short. And then try and put a helmet on, which I've got the helmet there that I was using to gauge everything. Wasn't going to work, and I don't like sitting that high, but it felt like I was sitting on the roof of the car. So we're mucking around with this. This is fully in its position, and if anyone's mounted seats, it's super time consuming. And I'll end up using these on the passenger side once I get them in the right position, because these pretty much came right up and down with 1, 2, 3 mounting holes. I was using that as the lowest position, which is like another with 40 or 50 mil. And same with this one. Basically, I can bring this lower. I sort of had it mounted I want to get to take a bit of that lean out of the seat, so come down another 20 or 30 in the front, and I'll probably have to get a quick release because getting in and out of this thing with, hopefully that fixes it, but getting in and out of this thing with the seats the way they're sitting is a bit of a pain, but it's just what I can muck around with in the spare time. At least it's in there. If I need to drive it, I can drive it. I'll see if I have a video, but I had it started on the standard CAS, and I may throw it in here if I haven't already spoken about that 3 weeks ago earlier in this video. And I was borrowing Matt's laptop. Shout out Matt. It was the laptop I had, too new, didn't run the link tuning software, pain in my bum. Borrowed his, it had the right processor or something in it, and unfortunately it was dead, or it's flickering. It was dropping in and out of connection with the USB, so when I bought a laptop, there's all the GKT goodies. Got all the fresh stickers on it, and have been playing with that. Got it hooked up to a timing light, and am trying to time the motor, because since I changed it, can't get it to start again. Bit more of a complex trigger setup instead of just the normal cam angle sensor. I might just open the laptop and show you what I've got, and maybe someone can tell me in the comments if I'm not doing something right. Because basically I just gotta get it started and then make sure it moves under its own weight with all the new clutch stuff in it. Get it hot by putting it around the estate, make sure all the fans and stuff work. They did in the garage idling. Make sure nothing leaks, and then I can book it in for a tune. PDM takes a second to kick in. Look at that. Look at the... don't know if you can see it through there, but... there you go. Oh, yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, when I had this thing painted, the factory windscreen with the little piece in it for the heads-up display cracked. It doesn't have that now, so it's just going to shoot onto just an aftermarket window. Oh, it happens. Alright, so basically I've got trigger set up, trigger mode, which was Nissan 360 Opto, or for the standard CAS. And we now have a multi-tooth missing 36 -2, which is that one there. So the gap, that's what picks it up, and that sensor basically counts the teeth and then the gap. And then this one counts the wheel, or basically an arm on the cam. I'll see if I've got a photo on my phone. If I don't, it's basically just an arm off the cam that rotates around. So anyone knows, I've got, this is trigger 1, which is the crank trigger. It's a red cherry sensor, or an optical sensor. Trigger pull up is on. It's on the falling edge. Crank, basically tooth counts 36, missing teeth 2, 1 gap for the missing teeth, and it sinks on tooth 1, so the first tooth after. I'm pretty sure that's how that works anyway. And this is basically the one on the cam, so trigger 2, which is the home sensor, which runs on a 360 degree versus the 720 degree on the crank. So this is a red cherry sensor, optical hall, pull-up resistance on, falling edge, and it's on the cam pulse. Every time it comes around, it counts that arm, it's 1 pulse. And then to calibrate it, I've got my locked-in timing at 15 degrees, and the trigger offset, which I sort of have at about 270, but my battery's completely flat. I can't really crank it or get enough speed out of it, so first things will be get a new battery. This one's just sat forever, so that I can shoot timing again. I'm assuming, I'm 90% positive I have everything there, or all the sensors in, settings in correctly, that it should start off of that, or at least if I can change the trigger offset, work it out that way, go backwards or forwards. But yeah, I get about 3 cranks in and it fully dies, and the light won't really shine, so that'll be what I do next. But yeah, if anyone has any input on those trigger setup or anything like that, if I need to change the edge, the edge that the sensors run on, whether it's falling or rising edge, anything like that. If I need to pull up resistors on, which I'm pretty sure I do for the red cherry sensors, let me know. Make this a little bit easier. Yeah, that'll be pretty much it for this one. Happy New Year. Hopefully start the new year off right by getting the car to start. See you later.